All right, hello everybody. We are on YouTube here. We are here with Cindy, and we have Emily and I are co-hosting. We're getting podcasting support from my wife Sue Roskoff. You are on the World of Ability Podcast Network, and this is the You Are Happy Show. So we are excited to have this all going out to our audiences with Transforming Media Network, the PAC channel, with the Disability channel, and with Wingate Studios, with Wingate TV. And so, Emily, you want to go ahead and give us more introductions of the show and our guest, Cindy? Take it away, Emily. All right, I guess Emily is working on some stuff there. So again, we started this show with Melanie,
Okay.
Are You Our Happy Girl? And Emily, take it away. You can continue the introductions. Thank you, Emily.
Okay, so as Kurt was saying, this is the You Are Happy Show, with our host Melanie Wakarka. Unfortunately, Melanie had something else come up today and isn't able to be on the show with us today, but hopefully next week she'll be back. And so we have a special guest today named Cindy. The show started, it was just a few months ago, right, Kurt? I think in like February or something. So we encourage everybody to tune in or have come on the show if you are interested in being a guest. To please reach out to us. As Kurt was saying, special thanks to Marcus Hart, Jay Stoyan, Zach Clayton, Lawrence Wingate, of all of our partners who help us air their show on their platforms. And so I guess back to the show, we have a special guest today named Cindy from out of Texas, aka the Texas Oil Lady. So stay tuned. We'll find out why she's called the Texas Oil Lady. And so, Cindy, why don't you may come in here, may briefly say who you are, what you do, kind of thing. Introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, I'm Cindy Cowan, the Texas Oil Lady, and I currently reside in Lubbock, Texas, but I can work anywhere in the world. I help pets and farm animals to live a better, non-toxic life.
Awesome. It's interesting that about the animal side of it, oils and animals. How exactly does that work with oils and animals?
Last summer, I got certified as a animal aromatherapist, and I studied under a veterinarian out of Austin, Texas. So I took her course and took the test, and so I'm certified. And what it means is that not only can I have animals, it's just a matter of dilution and application of the oils for the animals. So if we're talking emotions for humans, behaviors for animals, and then the health portion, essential oils can be used, one essential oil can be used for multiple things. So like feeling relaxed, helping anxiety, those kinds of things. Animals get anxious too, and they may act out. And so it also happens with humans. So lavender's the solution for that situation.
Now, how did you get started with these essential oils? Or when did you get started, or how did it all come up?
So I was a customer first. So I had with Western medicine. So my issues were allergies, and the prescriptions and the over-the-counter medication just made me worse. And I had met someone at an event who introduced me to doTERRA essential oils. And the one day that I felt the worst ever, I reached out to her and I said, I'm ready for some natural solutions. So she recommended lemon, lavender, and peppermint oils to help with those sinus infections and all that entails with your allergies. And I got better. And I have not had a sinus infection in a long time. Well, actually, since 2016. So I became a customer and, progressed using other oils for other solutions for myself and my family. And then about a year, 2017, I flipped the switch and became a wellness advocate and started, slowly building that business.
Awesome. Kurt, do you have any
And
questions? Oh, sorry, you're kind of like a little bit. But Kurt, do you have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, before we came on the show that was talking about that there's a little story behind your name you take on, Texas Oil Lady. Obviously, for those outside of Texas, we appreciate the history of oil, other petroleum oil in Texas. So obviously it's a little bit fun to play on words, but it gets right to the point that you're a Texas lady. Oil's right in the middle of what you do, so you're Texas Oil Lady. But and then you also are showing value to both people and their pets, and so for a family and so forth. You're showing like an entire value. So can you give us a little both of those sides of it, that you're the Texas Oil Lady? There's a little bit, like you said, you were a customer first, and then you got into the distributorship and being of service, and you found how you can help in this area for all of us and for families and so forth. Can you kind of give us the layout of all that and how you fit into it, and obviously a passion of it to come out with an identity like Texas Oil Lady?
Well, that was an accident, actually. So okay. I had joined a networking group here in Lubbock, and we got 30 seconds to do our soundbite. And of course, at that time, I was just Cindy Cowan, doTERRA wellness advocate. And one day, I don't know why, at the end of my soundbite, you always repeat your name, correct? At the end. And so one day it just popped out and I said, Cindy Cowan, I want to be your Texas Oil Lady. And everyone responded very positively. Oh my gosh, I love that. And one of the members, he was on his phone and he writes apps for a living. And he had been on his phone, and I went to sit down in the same table as he was. And he goes, Cindy, you need to go buy the websites, texasoillady.com, .net, .biz. They're open. And I'm like, okay. So I bought them when I got home, and I'm like, okay, now what do I do with it? And so an accountability buddy of mine from our chapter, we were just chatting one day, and she does branding. And she's like, Cindy, you need to brand yourself. I'm like, why? And so she explained it to me, and I finally got it. So we did some brainstorming. She sent me a questionnaire, and I knew I loved the outline of Texas. And so that was definitely the background. And then, she created the Texas Oil Lady. Well, lady, the Y in lady is actually an oil drip at the very bottom where the curvy is. And so you have to see it up close, but, she's very creative. And so that is how that happened. And then my sound bites changed. I would change it up and say, hey, I'm Cindy Cowan, the Texas Oil Lady. I'm not talking about crude oil or avocado oil. I'm talking about essential oil. It was very eye-opening. But last year, I really wanted to do something more. I wanted to really be unique in what I do and not just be the oil lady. And so I'd been following this veterinarian, and she's actually on or works with doTERRA corporate on their board or committee or whatever for essential oils and animals. She's a veterinarian, and she incorporated essential oils working with her clientele: horses, cows, chickens, dogs, cats, the whole 9 yards. So I'd been following her on Facebook for a while. And then she started to offer a course to get certification. And so that's when I said, I signed up and I did it because I grew up with dogs. I love animals. It's just where my heart is. And I know how much people love their animals, whether they're farm animals or they're pets. And it just kind of made sense to me that you're going to help your animal and yourself feel better with a natural product that's non-toxic. And so it just kind of went full circle. And so now I love to educate. I visit networks all over the world now, and I'm finally getting the message out. And it's going to take more. I just started, the worldwide network visiting, and they just like, oh wow, that is so cool. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever yeah, I don't think I've ever totally closely looked at your thing to realize that that was a
Mhm.
drop, but I mean it makes sense. So
Yeah, when you're calming your pet down with lavender, say they got upset with the fireworks going on outside or a backfire of a car, you're applying that lavender to their spine or helping them, smell it. It's absorbing into your skin too, and you're feeling the effects. So it's like kind of like I call a twofer. So everyone's
Right.
calm, everyone's feeling better.
Yeah, that's awesome, right, Kurt? I wonder if Kurt, I wonder if Minnie would like it.
I would think so. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about how us pet owners, we tend to move on things actually a little faster and with a little bit more sincerity and ready to go for our pets than we are for ourselves or our kids, even babies. I have a friend who uses essential oils in her formula for lawn care.
Mhm.
So they do lawn care applications with essential oil in there to work on having non-toxic lawn care. So they went around saying, wouldn't you want to make sure that your baby isn't ingesting the chemical that these lawn companies put on there, blah blah blah, and what having certain success with that. But then like you said, in a roundabout way, how stuff came together for you, in a roundabout way it came to them in terms of somebody having an idea about the benefit it is for the pets. So I don't know if it was one of their vendors or how that came together, but that was their experience, that they added that into their conversation.
Oh, it's very smart. I mean,
Yeah.
people don't realize that the pads of their feet
Yeah.
absorb products, also chemicals and essential oils, because you can actually, that's another good spot to put the essential part on is on their pads.
Yeah,
That was smart on their part.
yeah. I think there's like this. I mean, I've heard of doTERRA. I'm not sure if I used doTERRA before, but yeah, it seems like it's a big thing kind of going around.
Oh yeah.
So, Kurt, have you or Sue done anything with doTERRA or anything like that? I know you've been in different things like that. So, is doTERRA one of them? I don't remember if you've mentioned that or not.
Yeah, my observation is the introduction of doTERRA in marketplaces has been very successful because the history of all these home businesses or distribution companies or people in direct selling, kind of in the industry of it, there's a lot of different stories to tell about how a company enters the market and the experience people have at home. So I don't know, I might have a little bias to it or just kind of a unique slice of the story, but I get the impression that doTERRA is very effective in being introduced. And with our business, I'm on the side of it with, Melanie, with Emily and me. We share an interest in the disability community. and looking for things that are favorable and have a unique offering, for people with disabilities. And so doTERRA, from my understanding, has been really prominent, and it's a growing thing as far as I understand in the autism community.
Very much so.
I've even been hearing stories of families who have a family member with autism, like you, Cindy, first just loving the thing for what it's doing for their family, but then really, in some cases, having quite an emotional response to, like, tears of joy type of thing, where it's just like, it's just too good to just make it like, this is a great thing for my house, that it's like, our friends need to know about this. People in our autism group need to know about this. And next thing you know, they never planned it, but they became a distributor. They became somebody who, like some companies say brand partner or whatever, and, being troubadours of the product, because it's just the thing to do. It's like a humanitarian glimpse at what's going on. So there's other oil companies out there. You can get this type, quote unquote, type of product, but there's something to be said to the way that doTERRA is produced and with what's in that bottle compared to containers or bottles of a different brand. Again, might be a biased experience that I have around me, but that's been my impression. I mean, obviously I celebrate when things are going good in the disability community, so I guess I'm not afraid to give kudos to the company doTERRA for its presence in the disability community, and that it's worth people checking out doTERRA, and then just the way, as a company wide, how it's introduced and the user friendliness and the way everything's written up, because that's an issue too, communication. So the marketing materials, the instructions, the way the labels are made, it just seems like, I don't know that doTERRA ever planned that, but it seems like it's fallen into place that way, whether they planned it or not, that they're just doing it right. Again, whether planned or not, I got no idea, but I've been getting a lot of reviews that doTERRA is just, just a good choice, so.
I knew I made the right choice. Joining when I went to College City about 5 years ago, and I saw the presentation of the science part, and knowing that, for example, frankincense comes from Africa. There's a reason why. Okay, the tree grows in Africa, it's indigenous. The soil, the climate, everything is important for that tree to grow so they can collect the oil from that tree. All the oils are indigenous from whatever country they're sourcing them from, and they're from all over the world. I love that part. I love the part that there is no middleman. doTERRA works with the farmers. They pay the farmers as much money as they should be getting and not having to mess with the middleman. doTERRA also will build the schools in the community, whatever the community needs, wherever they're growing and sourcing that particular oil from. I like that part. I like that that's tested in 3 different laboratories. I like that it's, certified. Therapeutic pure. I love that part. And the oils, and there's another lady that I know that works with people with disabilities, no matter what it is, ADD, the whole 9 yards. You can get that right combination of oils, because everybody's body's different. Our DNA is unique to us. And when you can find that right combination of oils to work for all of us, no matter what our situation is, it's going to work. There is no cure. For instance, I have rheumatoid arthritis. I finally found a combination that works well for the same way for someone else, maybe not. But we're all about, let's try the oils that we know from our books, because we've got books, we've got online resources. What are the properties of all these oils? And because there's a combination that's going to work. It's going to help you feel better. You can't cure a lot of things, but you can improve your quality of life. you can feel better. So that's why I love the company. The ladies that I follow are influencers. They've been with doTERRA way longer than I have. I follow them. I take their educational workshops. doTERRA always has workshops online that we can continue education. I love the support. So I'm very proud to be a doTERRA advocate. I purposely, when I market, you don't know who or what oil I'm working with at the first meetings. You're getting to me, right? I'm wanting to get you to know me. Who do you do business with? People you like, know, and trust. And I feel like my own background, my own experiences, and what I've learned is what I want to share with others, whether it's yourself, your family, your friends, or your animals.
So, Emily, what's next for this You Are Happy show? Take it away, podcast engineer, co-host, and HMP ambassador extraordinaire. Emily, you're muted, so come on mute and let's liven it up. Let's get this next segment going. Take it away, Emily.
So you might have maybe touched on this a little bit, Cindy, but what were you like doing before you got into this whole doTERRA thing and kind of?
So my previous job, I've been self-employed since 2000. So I've been a virtual assistant since 2000, and that's for long distance. So virtual assistant for a long time, a really long time, 23 years. So before that, I was in the signage business. I worked with a sign company in Dallas. So that was another lifetime.
Well, okay, so this is interesting because I don't have like an official like business with it, at least right now. But I've also been being a kind of virtual assistant as of late. And so this is interesting. We're both virtual assistants, right, Kurt? Oh, Kurt just
He's gone.
but so kind of switching gears a little bit. So kind of what services do you provide as a virtual assistant, or did you?
Well, somehow when I started out, I had clients of different backgrounds that they were entrepreneurs, they had their own business. So I worked for several different type of people, and I did some on-site work. I'd go location and or do it at home from my home office. But within about a year or two, I ended up working in the senior industry. And so I worked for several different nonprofits where they didn't have an office, obviously, and they always had, new board members every 1 to 2 years. It always changed. But I was the consistent person who took care of their memberships, took care of their website, did the invoicing, and then worked with sponsors for their events. So event planning. So I did a little bit of everything for the nonprofits. And so it just kind of evolved into I had a couple of nonprofits as clients for the longest.
So are you still a virtual assistant too, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yes, I still am.
Good if you were the virtual assistant still with doTERRA. Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of doing the
multitasking, wearing multiple hats.
Yes. Yeah, I've been kind of doing the data entry, kind of the whole like communication kind of thing, maybe a little bit of event planning too,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's rather interesting and can be a challenge. I'll say that much, depending on
Yep.
who your client is. So are you still like working with nonprofits, right? You know, like,
For the time being, I am, yeah. I do occasional, single, or people who are trying to start a business. I might do a little bit of work for them here and there, just to helping them get their website up and going. So it's contract work. So it's not consistent. It's just the occasional contract piece of work.
all right,
But becoming a VA allowed me, because my kids were young then, and I could either work with them at home, obviously, or take them to work with me. So a lot of my clients knew my kids when they were little, and they were very family oriented, which is what I needed in my life. The flexibility, and they knew that, and they were very gracious people who believed in taking care of your family and making a little bit of money.
right.
So
Um, 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 so, let's see, I think we are probably about at our end here.
okay.
But so I guess I don't know if this could be a thing, but okay, maybe you can wait till the comment after. But do you have any kind of last words you want to say, any kind of like takeaways you want to everybody say, or anything like that?
You froze up. Like I couldn't hear what you were
Okay.
saying.
Oh, so do you guys have any kind of last words or any kind of takeaways that
So let's see. My goal is to educate people, as many as I can, that there is alternative natural solutions for not only their health and their family, but their pets and their farm animals. There is so much out right now that's concerning about all the side effects of Western medicine. There is a time and a place for the Western medicine. I'm not discounting that, but if you can take care of yourself as naturally as possible, why not? It's just like taking care of a headache at home instead of reaching for the aspirin or the Tylenol, the ibuprofen. Try some peppermint oil, try, some past tense, try an alternative method instead of always going, because excessive use of a lot of those products can harm the organs. It's been shown. So I want to educate and share and help people out.
awesome. So I wanted to thank you for coming on today. This
Thank
was
you.
this is awesome. And remind you that you're welcome back. Anytime. And remind everybody that we are here every Thursday at 12:30 Central, 12:30 p.m. Central, 1:30 Eastern. And to encourage everybody to join us or tune in. And to check out all of our Your Happy Girl or Your Happy Show social media pages, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and so on. And thanks again to Marcus Art, Jay Stoyan, Zach Clinton, Lawrence Wingate. If anybody has any questions, they can contact us at the youarehappyshow@gmail.com. That's the letter U, letter R, happyshow@gmail.com. And so until next time, encourage everybody to have a safe and productive week.